Nasdaq Composite and MMTs. Once again, I must go through the updates as we were trading the shorts all day and getting net long. Now, on the Nasdaq comp, this is the calendar year high up here, and this is at low. And we were involved in the lows with all of the crises that we had called for. We were short all the way from here. We have a short there, and a short down to the bottoms. Then what ends up happening is we ended up going long, and then we ended up going on to short. But we had a 4-week rally up here, and we came right up here to this top area. And we've covered this every single day of the week. And the thing about it is we keep all of our MMTs up to date. And it was right here, right now, that this particular trend line right here, that's going to be this one, right across here. This is where we had that major resistance, and at times technology did well, things did well. They failed, made slightly a lower low, but then that 4-week rally. Now, the haircut on the Nasdaq comp, 99% of the stocks went down in this Nasdaq comp. Okay, this is Nasdaq comp, down 105 handles. Okay, that's some serious reversal. The bull trend still remains 4 weeks above the rising 10-week. And that means that we're going to look for how strong that the pullback will be within this reversal, right along with Greece. Today is Italy debt. We already knew about it. But since we had that rally, on a standard technical level analysis that people look at, is that we can clearly see that this 20-week is going to be support. And we're below the 50-week, and we're right on top of that red line. That's that 20-week right here. So the bullish trend is in play. However, we are carefully going to be watching to make sure that the Italy crisis that is upon has a way of having a resolution to it. It's the third largest economy. We have already covered this over the last 2 years until we're blue in the face. Remember, we've taken these great rallies off that calendar low right here, and that Nasdaq got beat down today, and lots of things. It was a short day, and people sold down in fear. They had a great rally off of these calendar year lows. We've covered this Nasdaq comp and traded every single calendar day out of the year, and even work and do an analysis on Saturday and Sunday. The thing about it is, MMTs, if we get a sell through here, then technology goes lower, and the next major pit stop would be right here at this trend line, at where this gap sequence held. The thing that I would like to clearly point out is that risk management is done at its very finest. So if I draw a trend line right through here, you can see we're on the outside where the reversal is happening. That's from that point. It matches this one. It comes right through there. Now, if I come down from here and I get right over here to this shoulder, I'm still on the outside. But if I also come down here and I come right through here, this is going to be that near-term horizontal line and diagonal line. And this is where we're at. And it's going to this side. So basically, after that big bull rally that no one was in and the professionals was left out and all of this stuff, you know, I mean, rightfully so, we shorted that move and we shorted that move. We have all the analysis on stockmarketfunding.com, when to be short before it went down, when to be long before it went up. We have all of that live historical trade data analysis that we did. We warned people up here, we warned people here, but we also said that things don't go straight down, and that we've had a great calendar rally in October, which is part of your Santa Claus rally, and this day is 11/9, your turkey rally and Santa Claus rally. Well, a lot of it has happened here. No one says it has to be over. It depends on what they're going to want to do here. The fear level went up. The VIX went up. The VXN, which is tied to this, the fear indicator, the VXN, it went back up. So we're going to see how we hold this major level. Now, I will give MMTs one more other thing. From this original top reversal of the year, I'm going to bring this trend line right down here. This is this diagonal one right here. Okay. Now, as we go from the top to where the original break was, right here is that we're below it. This weekly bar is below that. We got up above it, but we're below this one. And that comes off of the high, calendar year high. It comes down through this weekly area where we have the major breakdown, the calendar year bottom, everything that we've done. And right now, we either have a bull pullback because we went with the 10-week moving average going down, the 20-week was going down. Well, now the 10-week, the blue line right here, this blue line is going up in value. This is going to be your major support line right now. It's going to be right here. It's going to be right there. Why? Because that was a major calendar 2011 breakout point to that high. It was that first major support level on a weekly that came up, puts this in. That's the reversal here. That was the calendar yearly 52-week lows that we traded in. When were those dates on the Nasdaq comp? I'm sorry, back in 8.7. When was this? 8.14. When was this? This was 8.21. Hey, we put the final bottom in on 10.2 down here, undercut that low, rallied on up. The problem is the Italy has got a big weighting right here. It's very serious about the third largest economy in a financial crisis, and it's a bigger problem than Greece. But so what? This rising 10-week moving average above the 100-week is that when we come down, just like over here, they're not, when we were really bearish and going short, that's because the 10-week declined and it crossed over the 20-week and it stayed below it, and it stayed below it for a number of weeks. But then we've had a qualifier that happened 4 weeks above the rising 10-week blue line, 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're still above it. If we sell down through it, we don't have any other good visibility at support until we get to this 100-week moving average. Once again, it's year end. It's when things are supposed to be doing well. But once again, you got to realize that we made this high right here. That was a major area that was support level here on a weekly level and a support level back here on a weekly level. And where we broke this major support line on that weekly level. Now we've had a great rally, as it should. Mathematically, you go down. The moving averages weekly were crossing over and they were all going down. We called it before the fact. We called that one. Go type in the search thing, Nasdaq comp, and it'll bring up all the analysis that we called in every one of these bear raids and every one of these bear market raids that came down. Then when we consolidated the bottom, we were trading the bull side up and the bear side down. But we've been long. We told everyone, just like on the S&P 500, right here, on the S&P 500, when you were going to hit the bottom, you were going to get these big rallies. And I already did the S&P 500. But they look alike. This is a daily chart on the S&P. It sold hard down to daily moving averages. This is a weekly chart. And we have a weekly S&P. That's our support level. Ultimately, down here slightly above the 100-week, or that lower end of that bar where resistance was on a weekly, will be your support. One thing about it, MMTs, if we don't bounce back up, and we got to get back above this high of the body of this bar right here on this weekly level. And once again, MMTs, Nasdaq comp is not leading the market down, but rather selling on the headline news, and it's still in play. So if the bulls are worried, you've got some support here with the 10-week. We as bull and bears both, we're just going to make our decision. Is this 4-week rally and this 2-week reversal with the financial crisis? If we start to sell down, then we'll just short it all the way back down. Because if you break these support levels going back down, you're going to get right back into this bear trend. Right now, you're not declining in the weekly. You're up. You're not declining in the 20-week, the red line. It's flat. It depends on how much sell side comes to the lower area when testing these moving averages tomorrow morning on the Nasdaq weekly comp. Once again, we have a special report for all of 2012. Info@stockmarketfunding.com would get your hands to inquire on that report for the full calendar year. Economically, market-wise, worldwide, you name it, we do it. We analyze it first. We are one of the few people in the world that can tell you when you're going to get that move up or when you're going to get that bear move down, and then all the things that go in the middle on calendar yearly lows. And once again, the bull trend is getting weaker because of today's reversal with Italy debt.